Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Donald Trump has, in the middle of the crossroads, literally smashed the pot. And meanwhile, Ishaq Dar was saying other things in the assembly. On the other hand, the tweet Donald Trump posted told a completely different story. I will present the current situation on all of this to you. Then we will talk about the situation in Azad Kashmir, how the Awami Action Committee got its demands accepted and how they are getting them accepted. Today is October 5th. And it happens to be the Captain's Anniversary Day, so we will also talk about how Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is celebrating it. Alongside that, I'll also tell you that threats from India have begun again, and they have, you might say, after being humiliated, made some heated statements. We will discuss all of that. I request you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. So, first of all, let's talk about what threats Donald Trump has made. The current situation is something like this, folks. You saw Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar's tweet. In fact, forget the tweet. In the statement he gave in the National Assembly, he generally said that yes, Donald Trump altered the agreement he had shown us, the one under which matters with us had been settled, and now the clauses in it have been changed. So that is not the agreement we were presented with or that was put before us. The agreement that we, the Muslim leaders, agreed to was a different agreement. These are the things he said in the National Assembly. In other words, to put it plainly, this could be called a betrayal. That Trump showed us one thing and later announced something else. So this was the sort of thing Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar appeared to be saying. Today, Donald Trump posted a tweet. It was a big, dramatic one. In his tweet, he essentially wrote that this agreement, which they call a peace pact, he says that the entire group of Muslim leaders with whom they held meetings, about 8 of them, these Muslim leaders say that their signatures are on it. They agreed to it, and they believe that lasting peace in the Middle East can be achieved by implementing this agreement. They have fully endorsed it. They signed it. They put their names on it. And the second part of this tweet is very terrifying. Because Donald Trump also gave Hamas a deadline. He said Hamas has 48 hours until Sunday evening at 6 o'clock to accept this. It's an ultimatum. During this time, accept this peace pact, sign it, and give the green signal for implementing it. Otherwise, if you do not do this, then something will happen to you that no one has seen or heard of before, and destruction will be unleashed. So Donald Trump's tweet has 2 parts, and both are very frightening. First, when he claims that the document is signed and in their possession, it means that whatever Trump displayed, announced or decided after consultations should have the signatures of those present at that meeting. And if they now deny it, saying no, that was a different agreement that was shown to us, then the details of that agreement could come out at any time. And knowing Trump's temperament, he is precisely the sort of person who might, right there on Twitter, release the agreement, saying, look, these are the signed agreements they wrote and signed. On the other hand, if Donald Trump is lying and does not have a signed agreement, or if what he has differs from what Ishaq Dar is saying, then in that case, Ishaq Dar or the Pakistani government could publicly adopt that stance and tweet that they no longer fully endorse that agreement, because what was shown to us is different from what you are now talking about. But they can't really do that. The reason being that whatever they agreed to, they are compelled to stand by it. They must support it, no matter what. Yes, the statements they are making here are only to control local emotions and to prevent political damage to themselves. Other than that, they do not have the standing to say that the agreement has been changed or that this is now different. The real fact is that whatever they agreed to, they must now support. Whatever they do, if they don't, there will obviously be consequences. So now Donald Trump has laid out the whole story on Twitter. But the second part of his tweet is especially frightening because Hamas has already completely rejected this agreement. And if the spirit of the agreement is such that Hamas does not give a green signal for its implementation, then, in that case, America, together with Israel, is going to take full action. And if, God forbid, during this period there is further death and martyrdom among the Palestinians, then you can imagine that those who supported this agreement and those who took part in the meeting and consultations will also have to bear responsibility for whatever happens there, depending on the situation that unfolds. Because Trump's purpose in bringing everyone together was to be able to say ultimately that we did everything, and the entire Arab world and other Arab and non-Arab Muslim leaders were included. We had full endorsements. So in that sense, you could say this is a frightening situation. Donald Trump also said that if people in Gaza want to avoid this assault, and if Hamas is not accepting it, then they should move to safe areas. So the situation has become quite serious and grave. But for the Pakistani government, this is not a good omen. The reason is that if they further endorse and go along with this, they too will have to face some backlash. By the way, I heard today that TLP has announced a Gaza march to Islamabad on March 10th. Generally, TLP's announcements do not carry much weight because, as you know, they don't take steps without the wish and signals of their handlers. So if, after so much time, they now announce a protest march or demonstration for March 10th, understand that this will be fully planned, that they will show some public sentiment as if, yes, we went, we did it, and spin it to offer some emotional reassurance. Not straightforwardly saying we won't accept Israel, while saying we also won't refuse Trump. If Trump is planning to play a bloody game there, at least you could return your Nobel nomination, they might say. No, we won't take that back either. So now the effort will be to play both sides, not to upset Trump, and at the same time to keep the emotions of the local people calm. For this, their proxies will now be more visibly active on the ground, so that some of the pressure is released through them. And after that, gradually, they know that the Pakistani public will forget in a few days. They know well that in 2 or 4 days, the issue shifts from one thing to another. So, who will remember Palestine and what will happen? So much has happened for so long. How many people actually protested? How much pressure was put on this government? This is the story we're seeing unfold now. But meanwhile, there's a lot of concern regarding the people detained by Israel on that flotilla. That's because former Senator Mushtaq Ahmed is among those in Israeli custody. Initially, there were reports that perhaps diplomatic efforts would succeed in getting them released. But then a video statement was released from one of the Israeli ministers, who said that these people should not be released for free. Rather, they should be held in custody in Israel for a while. And the terms he used for them were, well, terrorists. He said they should be kept in a high-security prison for terrorists so that they understand what they did. Now, just imagine the mentality of these people. Those who were simply delivering food and medicines, innocent and harmless civilians, are being labelled terrorists. This is the current mentality of the Israeli forces, and they're saying they're not planning to release them anytime soon. So the government of Pakistan will have to speed up its diplomatic efforts, although frankly much can't be expected from them. On the other hand, Hafiz Naim-ur-Rahman, the head of Jamaat-e-Islami, said he has spoken with Ishaq Dar about this matter, and that the Foreign Office has now started making efforts. But Mushtaq Ahmed's wife says she hasn't yet had any communication with Ishaq Dar. So this is going to be a slow motion process. Let's see how long it takes for them to take any action. Regardless, everyone is praying for those detained, that God keeps them safe. Because they took a huge step based on humanitarian concern, risking their lives. So, of course, everyone is deeply concerned for them. So that's the situation regarding the agreement and the whole Trump-Palestine issue. Now, moving forward, the next major development is from Kashmir, where there is currently a massive public gathering. Believe me, the crowd in Kashmir is enormous. People are out on the streets, sitting there even at night. On the other hand, the representatives from the Awami Action Committee are in ongoing negotiations with the government, including ministers. A committee was sent from here, and now there has been some progress. Some reports are coming in that the negotiations have been successful and the demands have been accepted. This news has even started running on TV channels. But the leaders of the Kashmir Committee have clarified that a final decision has not been made yet, and no one should assume that the protesters will start going back. Until we receive a signed copy of the agreement and official notifications, we will not leave this place, nor will we end the negotiations or the sit-in protest. This is their clear announcement. Even so, according to internal sources, most of the demands have been accepted. And honestly, they had to be. Whether the negotiations continue through tonight or tomorrow, the government will be forced to accept the demands, even if it means negotiating upside down. Because within just a few days, they've realized that if their forces mishandle the situation, it will backfire. And they've also realized that these protesters won't give up and go back. They're a unique people, united and very clear in their thoughts. So now, in one way or another, they'll have to give in. The news is that the 8 elected representatives from the migrant seats, some of whom were apparently ministers, will be dismissed. Imagine that. Those ministers will be removed. The benefits of the remaining ones will be reduced, and other demands will be met with assurances and agreements. This is how things will move forward. We hope that by tomorrow morning a clearer picture will emerge and this protest will finally come to an end. But this protest has already provided India with the opportunity to raise objections. Today, one of their ministers also raised concerns, saying that the situation in Pakistan-administered Kashmir must be seriously monitored, that human rights violations are happening there and Pakistan must be held accountable. The international community should take notice. So they've started their usual noise. But this was expected. When you create such a situation there, obviously the other side will try to take advantage of it. However, we just hope that if this matter is resolved through dialogue and understanding, their propaganda will fall flat on its own. Still, there have been quite a few threats coming from India in recent days. For example, their army chief has threatened that they are fully ready for Operation Sindoor 2 and will carry it out soon, and that this time Pakistan should not be under any misconception. Unlike Operation Sindoor 1, this time there will be no restraint. This time the operation will be dangerous, and Pakistan must think whether its country will even remain on the map or not. They're making big, loud claims. Seems like they've already forgotten the last time they were beaten. So now, to cover their humiliation and embarrassment, they're trying to normalize the situation through such statements. Similarly, their Air Force chief is also busy. They released some images claiming they had downed a number of jets. They say 15 or 16. They can be happy with whatever number they want. It doesn't matter to us. They're trying to deny the previous facts. But after all these months, they still haven't been able to properly deny what happened. The world acknowledges it. Even the company that manufactures Rafale jets confirmed that Rafales were downed. So now if, after so many months, they're trying to spread disinformation, no one will believe it. But in any case, it is certain that Pakistan must remain alert regarding India, because they've been defeated, humiliated, and have failed diplomatically as well. Now they'll try to bring Pakistan down in any way they can. That's why Pakistan must stay vigilant on this front. Today, PTI, that is Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, also announced that on the occasion of Imran Khan's birthday, every member, office bearer or supporter should plant a tree as a birthday wish to Imran Khan. Imran Khan himself has always shown a keen interest in nature and tree planting. He has always appreciated it and launched major environmental projects during his government. So they believe this is a wonderful way to pray for his well-being, wish him a happy birthday and give him a gift, to plant a tree. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.